On one side, we have Smooth G, a man issuing explicit physical threats to meet at a specific intersection in Detroit for a fight. On the other, we have Dion, a man who insists his words are a direct divine mandate from God to lead black men. These intense, hours-long standoffs are not taking place on a street corner or a pulpit. They are happening entirely inside the digital confines of an audio-only social media chat room. To hear them tell it, the stakes of these arguments are national. They debate the future of the country, framing themselves as the primary figures responsible for shaping the black electorate. Conversely, they spend hours rallying against the current administration, specifically directing their grievances toward Kamala Harris and claiming to be actively mobilizing their listeners against her. Conflict scholarship uses the term performative masculinity to analyze these spaces, examining the specific instances where extreme rhetoric is prioritized over physical action or tangible results. The digital sphere acts as a psychological buffer. It provides a space where these men can curate and project hyper-masculine personas that remain unchallenged by the frictions of the physical world. Dion presents himself as a political force. He frequently reminds his audience that he has run for president 3 times and insists he is currently building a legal association to represent black men. Online clout can become massively imbalanced when compared to real-world status. When rivals challenge Dion's influence, he responds with extreme grandiosity, pointing to his female supporters' approval as external validation of his digital worth. Eventually, the argument transcends politics. Dion claims his words are not his own, but the direct will of the Most High, elevating a petty internet dispute into a spiritual requirement. This Messiah complex is a response to the reality of the platform. By claiming a divine mandate, Dion creates a role for himself that cannot be scrutinized or measured by his actual real-world output. Smooth G focuses on a different form of authority. He maintains a bitter feud with a rival known as Great Debate, whom he dismisses as a suburban cop's son, faking a medical crisis for attention. Smooth G relies on geographical authenticity to legitimize his digital voice. He uses the hard reputation of the city of Detroit to frame himself as an enforcer who owns a physical domain his rivals fear entering. His specific tactic involves demanding his rivals meet him at a specific Detroit intersection. He mocks them for failing to appear, using their absence to claim victory in online arguments. By forcing a real-world confrontation, this collision of digital threats and physical reality is a calculated strategy to anchor his online persona in something tangible. Geographic posturing provides the necessary armor for the digital space. By claiming ownership of dangerous streets, he creates a persona of physical dominance that his online rivals cannot easily disprove. Social identity theory suggests insecure groups bond through exclusion. To maintain solidarity, this inner circle utilizes homophobic and transphobic rhetoric to ostracize marginalized users. They conflate a suburban upbringing and queerness into a singular manufactured enemy to define their manhood through opposition. This definition of an alpha male is entirely subtractive. It relies heavily on the constant degradation of others, rather than any individual achievement or leadership that results in community progress. True group security does not require constant demonization. The intensity of their bigotry serves as the indicator that these masculine identities are built on a fragile foundation. When the storm of rhetoric ends, the reality remains unchanged. There are no shootouts at the intersection, and the physical world continues as if the argument never happened. The political illusions follow the same pattern. There is no revolutionary movement or divine mandate resulting from a presidential run slated for the year 2040. This is the tragedy of the digital echo chamber. It is an arena where men who lack agency in their physical lives can role-play as kingpins and messiahs for an audience of strangers. The platform itself is incentivized to reward this. This diagram shows how extreme rhetoric generates the attention that keeps these conflicts alive, even when they produce no real-world value. True power and leadership do not require broadcasting physical coordinates or claiming divine mandates. Without the performance, these digital wars are simply exhibitions of modern male vulnerability.